President-elect William Ruto, let me just correct that, President Ruto unveiled his 10-point manifesto before the public. Now, the points highlighted key interests of Kenyans, more so the state of economy, agriculture, infrastructure, and education. Will the manifesto come to a reality after it was sworn in? Our reporter Moses Okech sits with us, Sekolia Kisaka, a strategist, for a clear view on the manifesto.
That an inclusive, employment-creating economic model.
The Kenya Kwanza coalition released a 10-point manifesto that will echo the new governance. The flag bearer William Ruto will channel 250 billion shillings between 2023 and 2027 financial year towards the sector.
Well, when you talk about agriculture, and it's interesting that it's actually it was the first thing that he talked about. Going back, you'll find that, first of all, the president-elect, he's actually a farmer as well.
This is Sekolia Kisaka, strategist, who tells me the state of agriculture, which is the backbone of the country's economy.
We are very, very weak. It is actually a terrible state. I would say up to this point, the government has largely abandoned farmers. We are on our own. And yet, when you look at the organic fertilizer, and for those who are using it, it's a lot cheaper and it's readily available. But then, because government has not gone in that direction and helped to sensitize people about it, helped to support the people who are in that business, we are seeing people struggling and even at times planting without any fertilizer just because they couldn't get this other fertilizer.
The outgoing President Uhuru Kenyatta had unfinished projects in infrastructure, which Kenya Kwanza states will complete all roads currently under construction. Sekolia says,
instead of just, maybe getting into that office and discarding everything and just starting from fresh with what an individual's plans are, I would hope that, and especially with this situation, because he was a DP. So he was essentially in that government, right? And so he may have sanctioned quite a number of those projects. I will be waiting to see how he's going to handle the pending projects or the projects that are not yet completed. Because before you start on new projects, look and see from the projects that are already underway, that are already in flight, how many of those feed into your manifesto?
In an approach for education, the exam-based system of academic progression will be reviewed and introduce alternative entry criteria. Will his government support the current base curriculum?
He wasn't for CBC. I would be waiting to see what his experts will come and say, okay, how are we going to redefine this? Because I don't know whether they will decide to scrap it off, which again will put us into another spin. I don't know whether they will decide and say, okay, we're going to let it go, but we are going to see how to modify it into a better system. Then now from there, we can be able to see, so where do we need to go? How do we need to improve on this? 844 was not working for us because it's theory. CBC is supposed to be practical, but then is it really practical? Right? And how are we supposed to then change it and make it what it was supposed to be? Whoever envisioned it, right? The professionals that came up with all that, are we implementing it the way it was supposed to be implemented, as opposed to complaining about it and saying it's not working and we need to scrap it?
Do you feel that all these manifestos will be achieved in the next transition?
I believe there's a potential to achieve each and every one of those is possible, but the first place that he needs to start upon is corruption. Corruption is what is going to be the stopper that's going to make it impossible to achieve any one of these. But then if he deals with corruption, all the rest are achievable.
Is all these manifesto a realization, or it will come just to pass as a dream?
I would say this, if he asked me to get it to fruition for him, I would.
Wow.
So if I think I can do it, I believe he has a team that can. So the question is he going to be able to lead his team into fulfilling every one of those manifesto points?
Nice. Thank you so much. I really appreciate. Asante sana.
Thank you very much.
Now, as we focus on the transition into the new government that will be led by President-elect William Samoei Ruto, high expectations are on the rise, with the manifestos being in line to be achieved in the next government. My name is Moses Okech. This is Look Up TV.
Thank you.